Love The Simpsons. It's one of my favorite cartoons of all time. Up there with SpongeBob, Hey Arnold, Gumball, Looney Tunes. And The Simpsons is known for all of the predictions that it has done and got right. But there is one thing that The Simpsons will never, and I mean never ever, predict. And we all know what that is. And that is the Rapture. Yes, this is a thing that the Simpsons will never ever predict and get right because nobody can predict this. Which that's what makes me angry though when you hear people just trying to predict it. Like there's no reason to predict something like this. Right. I don't know why people are predicting dates and stuff cuz nobody knows. Not even the angels, not even Jesus himself. Only God knows. Yeah, not even the angels, not even Jesus himself knows. Only God himself knows the timing. And yeah, that is kind of interesting if you think about it. Not even the angels or Jesus, the Son of God, knows. Only God himself. And of course, that means obviously Satan doesn't know either, because the angels and Jesus don't know. And that means, of course, Lucifer doesn't even know either of the timing that God has. But again, we've seen parodies, you know. I mean, parodies are fine, right? Parodies are fine. I'm okay with parodies, though. You know, how they do parodies because again they did Pennywise, and again I watched all three of those movies. I watched the original, with Tim Curry. I watched the one with, or I can't pronounce his last name, but it's Bill something that was Pennywise. But again, I watched chapter 1 and chapter 2 of those. But again, I'm good with parodies when it comes to that, and them actually doing a parody of Left Behind, of Homer watching a movie called Left Below, a parody, a reference. But, I mean, some of the other predictions are fine, but something when it comes to this, whenever it comes to predicting something like this that will be happening, I just don't really like. I mean, I don't say I hate the episode though, or them trying to do something like that. It's just I don't really like it when people try to predict something like this because there's no reason to predict it or try to predict something like this. There's no reason, no needing to do it. I mean, again, there's just no reason. There's just no reason to try to predict something like this. But I mean, lots of other shows would do it too. Not just The Simpsons. You could say other shows that may similar do something like this, right? May similar do something like this. But again, I like it when they do do reference events that will happen though, and like when it comes to the Thank God It's Doomsday episode. Which again, that's where the whole Left Below, aka Left Behind reference movie takes place. And really one of the really one of the only episodes that in The Simpsons that ever brought up the Rapture as well. Along with the Bible stories episode, where they went through different Bibles, some of the most popular Bible stories, which is one of my favorite episodes of The Simpsons. And in the end, everybody has, it's the apocalypse. And Homer, Marge, Lisa, Bart, and Maggie are the only ones left. And again, we also have the Left Behind movies, which I love. I love the Left Behind movies. They're some of my favorite movies, though. And again, I really love how they're played. The originals and the reboot. Again, I know a lot of people don't really like the reboot, with um Nicolas Cage. I know a lot of people don't really like that one, which I don't really get the hate for. Obviously, I do love the reboot, and I love the originals as well. And the Apocalypse movies, too. Which I do consider the Apocalypse movies. The first one called, well, Apocalypse, and then we have Apocalypse 2, Revelation, and then the third one, Tribulation, and then the fourth one, which is Judgment, which are pretty much based on the Rapture as well. Right? It's pretty much based on the Rapture as well. And the horrors of the Antichrist as well. Which, again, they really make the Antichrist feel so real, though. Even though it is just in the movie, it just shows how scary it will be. Because there will be one, which I just hope nobody will. I hope no one will have to face the Antichrist, though, when he reveals himself. Lucifer, the devil, revealing himself. No one needs to fall for him. And again, I just gotta give the Left Behind movies, I just gotta give it to them, making it feel so real, though, right? Just showing how real it's going to be, right? Especially when it comes to when the loved ones are seeing their children vanish and their husband or wives. You can see how real it feels, though, and how pretty much how it's going to be, right? How it's going to be. And that's what I love about the Left Behind movies. They really do show a good job of how it's going to be like. How it's exactly going to be like for when that time comes. And like I said, that's one of the reasons why I love the Left Behind movies. Just shows how it's going to be. And, I mean, of course, there is one of the Left Behind movies that I don't hate, but I just don't mind as much. And that's, of course, that Vanished, the Next Generation. With Gabby. That Gabby and her sister and her two friends trying to survive, after the Rapture. I mean, that one was a pretty okay one, though. Not my personal favorite, though. But of course I do like the reboot, Left Behind, and then the sequel, Rise of the Antichrist. And of course I like the Apocalypse movies, like I mentioned, that are based on it. And of course the original Left Behind movies. World at War, the Tribulation. I think it was also Tribulation as well. Can't remember what the second one was called. And then, of course, we have Left Behind the movie. Really good ones, though. And, yeah, I can just say that, again, nothing would be able to predict it. And I swear, though, there would be people, I know there would be people in this world that would tell you, but I just don't listen to them, right? I mean, there are times where you don't need to listen to people, especially when it comes to saying a certain day when it comes to this, because you know that they're wrong. If anybody tried to tell me something like this, I would definitely say you're wrong, right? If somebody, I'm just giving an example. If somebody told me, a certain date or so, I would say, yeah, you are wrong. You were wrong. And, I mean, for real though, right? For real though. Because nobody can give an exact date. Again, this proves that obviously the Simpsons can't and will not predict everything. Even if some things have been predicted that came true. Not everything, though. Like I mentioned, the Rapture. They even predicted that. And of course, it never happened on that exact day. Because again, you can't predict something that nobody knows when it's going to happen. Right? That's just how it works. And like I said, I don't hate the episode. It's just I don't really like when people try to predict something like this. It just doesn't make any sense, though. There's no reason to predict something that is yet to come and nobody knows when it's going to happen. Right? We just got to be ready, though. Because again, it can happen anytime, though. No matter what you're doing. No matter if you're driving, you're at work, you're at home, wherever you're at. It can happen at any time, though. Because again, at any time, it can just happen like that. And again, the movies are a good example. Like I mentioned, I have to give them credit for showing how it's actually going to be. Showing how it's actually going to feel like. I just got to give them credit. The Left Behind movies. I have to give them special credit for making them show how real it's going to be like. Again, that's again definitely one of the reasons why I just love them, though, and definitely one of my favorite series as well. When it comes to different movie series, this one's definitely up there of my favorite, especially when it comes to Christian movies, up there with God's Not Dead. The God's Not Dead franchise, which again, I'm so excited for the first one in September this year. I always love those movies as well. But yeah, again, I would like to know what y'all think, though. And again, this just proves it, though. This just proves that, yeah, no show like The Simpsons or anything can ever predict something like this. And I definitely want everybody to just know this, because it's the truth, though. Right? It is the truth. Nobody can predict this. No show can predict something that nobody knows when it's going to happen. But we know it's happening. We know it's going to happen. I know it's going to happen. But nobody knows when. But again, I'd just like to know what y'all think. Let me know in the comment section down below. And remember, you can't always trust, or you can't always, what is a good way to put it? You can't always, when it comes, I'm trying to think of a good thing, a good example of, you know, you can't believe everything, or most of the things that you say, like, when it comes to predicting something like this. You can't always believe, though. Again, I'm just trying to get a way to put it. Like, you can't always. Again, y'all gonna have to help me out here. But y'all know what I'm talking about, right? Y'all know what I'm talking about. Y'all know what I'm talking about. Which again, like I said, when it comes to everything on the internet, you can't always believe everything on the internet that you say, or if anybody says certain things, you can't always believe what they say. But this, you have to believe, though. There's no predicting on this subject, this event that will be taking place on this world. And again, I just wish that people would stop trying to set certain dates and stuff for this, because I don't know why they even try to. But, again, I would like to know what y'all think. Let me know in the comments down below. And catch you on the next one.